And moving on to topic 4, closing out the show, we're gonna do a bit of a discussion topic here. I usually like to do these to break up the monotony of album reviews. So we're gonna do a bit of I guess show and tell, or just history on both Barron and Sam's K-pop history. So I actually really don't remember. I'm sure you guys have said it at one point or another, but I just don't remember it. So I will be interested in hearing your guys' story of how you got into K-pop, how you found us, how you, I don't know, just how you are with K-pop in general. So I guess, Sam, you can start us off.
Okay. So if you know Cooper's story, you pretty much know my story. It's very similar. So I was first introduced to K-pop back when I was in high school. Like there was like a 21 reality show or something that was like on my TV. And I was like, oh, it's K-pop. And I was in the anime.
How did you get that?
I have no idea what channel this was on. I just happened upon it. And I was interested because I was watching K-dramas, I was watching anime. So I was like, K-pop. And I was immediately turned away by 21. And I didn't go K-pop. I was like, not for me. Cool. And then like years later, like October 2016, it's the same thing with Cooper. BTS's Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That's what made me go like, oh, like I'm interested in this. So I remember it was like that. I want to say it was like also like Twice's Cheer Up and Blackpink's Playing with Fire. Like those were like my first like real introductions to K-pop. And so for a while I was really just like BTS. Like I was an ARMY. I was an ARMY for a while. Like they were my first albums I bought. And everything. And then I branched out more because I remember I was still listening to just BTS, and then like EXO's Monster just came on, like autoplay. And I thought it was a BTS song at first. I was like, oh my God, this is their best song. And then I realized it was EXO. And I was like,
oh no, that's going to piss off all the XOLs and ARMY are going to fight in the comments now.
I know.
How dare you?
But that's when I was like, oh my gosh, there are better groups out there. And so then I started getting into EXO, and I was loving EXO. Like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. And then from there, I think I went to GOT7. I mean, I didn't really go to GOT7 for the music. That was when I started watching reality stuff, and like GOT7 was hysterical. I loved it. And this is probably so funny for all the people in the Discord because I'm known for just really loving girl groups.
Yeah,
but like,
this is crazy for me. In all honesty, like, just hearing all this boy group love.
Yeah, I didn't like girl groups when I first got into it. Like I was all about the guys. I think after GOT7, I went to 17. Like I was really hitting like all like the big like guy groups, third gen. And then I started, getting more into like the second gen stuff, like Big Bang, Shiny. I have to like look at my collection to like remember. Like,
oh, please speak of your incredible collection here. I mean, you've got Nate and I beat. I think.
Oh almost. Yeah, me and Nate have like a competition. I feel like with our collections because I think I have to. I'm pretty positive I'm over 300 albums. It's gotten. Yeah, and my girl groups have finally beaten the guy groups, and like they've like way past the guy groups now in the number I have. I need to update my spreadsheet. I used to like actually keep track of it all.
I should.
And then I stopped. I really have to get back on it because I don't really collect guy groups as often. I don't really I don't know when this happened, but I stopped liking. Like when I first came into the Discord, I was a guy group fan. Oh, I feel like I should say that I didn't even talk about them, but like my old guy group right now is Pentagon, and like I was a huge Pentagon like nut for a while. Like Shine is still like my song of last year. I think it's one of the greatest songs to ever be written in K-pop. I love that song. I'm a huge Edon fan, but now so I was heartbroken when that happened. It actually happened on my birthday when that whole announcement happened. I was like, worst birthday present ever. But and I'm actually going to see Pentagon on my birthday this year.
Nice.
Really funny. Yeah. So then for the girl groups, it started off with Red Velvet. Well, I guess it really started off with like Twice. Like Twice was my first like introduction to girl groups.
That's a lot of people's introduction.
They were cute, and like I was so cliche boy group stand up. Like I don't like the cute girl groups. Like I'm like I like my girl groups edgy. I'm not I don't want to be like making fun of anyone who thinks this way. Like I was there. I get it.
Oh no, we can.
Like, you haven't opened your eyes yet to the cute girl group concept. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's funny because you're like the patron saint of cutesy girl groups at this point.
I know. Like I preach it like all the time. So it's really funny to just think of like how I started, because like my old girl groups were Red Velvet and EXID, and like I liked them more for like the edgier, like more sexy I still really love sexy concept for girl group. I'm not a huge fan of girl crush concepts as much. I was into it like at first. Now I think it's become overdone, and I don't care for it as much. But yeah, Red Velvet was the big girl group that I love. I love Red Velvet. They are my number one group. I guess they're kind of tied for number one now. I'm in a weird position now with my old girl group, because in the Discord, I'm definitely known for being the Oh My Girl fan. Like I love Oh My Girl. They're now tied, I guess, with Red Velvet for number one. Like I went to their concert when they toured in the US. I went to
Why didn't they come to New York?
That would have been a lot more convenient for me as well.
I would have gone. I would have spent so much money to see them because I was such a big fan of theirs, like stretching from like awesome. Pink Ocean. So
awesome. I flew out to California. My mom lives in California, so I stayed with her. We had a drive because it was like in India. It was like Coachella area in the
desert. That's literally the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it was at
there's nowhere to stay.
Was that a casino?
Yeah, it was at a casino, and I'm so glad I did that stop, because on the tour, the concerts were only like, I don't know, like either like an hour and a half long, and then like the India one was 30 minutes longer. And I was like, wait, does this mean we're getting more songs? And sure enough, we had an entirely different set list. Like,
oh wow!
Oh yeah, and I should probably also say I was front row for this concert. I got front row and like the VIP package, meet and greet, everything. So I got to do the high touch. I took a photo with them. It was incredible, and I also won a signed photo there, because I guess the VIPs were like entered into this. So I got a signed Polaroid of Binny, who she's my second, or she's tied for second.
Oh, Binny's my bias, probably. So
yeah, Binny's my mom's bias. That was the other thing. I went with my mom. We were front row together. She had never listened to K-pop. It's me and her and a bunch of older men. It was great.
That'd be me. That'd be like me. I'm like I don't know, just like weird random ass dudes that just go see girl groups, I guess. So
yeah, but yeah, we got this entirely new set list. It was awesome. Like we got One Step, Two Step, which is like my favorite. One of my
that is
favorite
a top 5 K-pop song of all time.
I love that song. Yeah, we had so much. We got a Yua solo stage. She did Havana, and I have a fan cam of that on YouTube.
Like everyone, like literally everyone does freaking Havana cover stages for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Yua's spot was like right in front of me in that concert, so I had so much interaction with her. And Yua's my bias at this point. Like she is hands down my bias.
Yeah, you've literally had an interaction with her. Like if she wasn't your bias, like I don't know.
At that point, she was tied with Hyo. But like I didn't get much from Hyo that concert, so I'm like, okay, Yua's number one now. I did get a selfie of Hyo though. She did take my phone at one point as well. I got Yua, Hyo, Binny, and Arin. Like those were the 4 I got. And then I got a Jiho, just like she bent down and like waved. Oh. And then I think I got a Mimi like peace sign. I got nothing from Sungi.
Damn.
Me and her were not on good terms. She gave me nothing. But I just remember like in the first song, they did Secret Garden, and Yua just like waves me in the first song. I was like, this is going to be an amazing night. And it was. It was. And overall, that was like an amazing concert. And Oh My Girl is like shot up now to like number one, because Oh My Girl is, I think, a funny story for me, because like I didn't care for them for a while. Like I was just like, they're a cute girl group back when I didn't. I was naive then, you know. And I Remember Me came out, and I was obsessed. Like I was just like, whoa. Like I think it was like the Binny part when it sounded like there wasn't a chorus, and then like Binny just repeats like the first part. I was like, this is incredible. This is amazing. And so I went back and listened to all their songs. And I had that moment of like, it's like when a group comes out with that one song that you just love,
Yeah.
you're obsessed with it, and you go back and you just have like this new appreciation of all their other stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, some of the stuff I hadn't even heard. Like my only other like Oh My Girl songs I really knew were like Secret Garden and Bam and Liar Liar. Like those are all I really knew.
Wait, did you not even know Closer?
No, not at that point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Closer is like one of the songs.
I know. So yeah, Cupid, I remember I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I mean, that is like my sound, like the like new goo kind of girl group debut song. Like I love Cupid, like songs that sound like that. So yeah, now I'm like huge Oh My Girl fan. Been branched. I'm trying to think what other groups I like. I'm looking at my collection. Really into Promise. Love Promise. The whole Discord loves Promise.
Yep.
They're awesome.
Stand Promise.
Stand Promise 9, definitely.
Yeah, I love Luna. Like, Luna's good. I have a ton of Luna albums. My gosh.
Oh, me too. My
yeah,
wallet.
you have more than
my
me.
My fucking wallet, man. God.
Yeah, it's yeah. I love Wuju Sanya. I have a lot of theirs. I've finally gotten into Twice. Took me a while, but now I'm there. I don't like Blackpink. I feel like I'm also known for that in the Discord. I don't like Blackpink. I don't really like YG.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, that's right. Me and you were like the two people were like, no, not
me too. Me too. Though. Like I can't at some points, and I get crucified for it on the internet. And now you're welcome to join in myself.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna get so many comments of all the things.
How dare you? They're queens.
Yeah. Let's see. Recently, I guess it's been a few months now. I've been trying to get into second gen girl groups. I love FX. Like FX was another group for the longest time. I was like, I hate FX. Like, I didn't like Electric Shock. I think that's what made me go like, I don't like FX.
Electric Shock is like their song, I guess, at this point. Like
I know, and I think that's why I didn't like them, because that's the song that's like associated.
They're known for, yeah. And I mean, it's their most popular one, but even like as someone that's listened to like FX pre like Electric Shock and post Electric Shock, there's more stuff I liked better than that song. So
yeah, and I like Electric Shock now. I have their Japanese concert DVD, Docking Station. Very good performance of that. Like, first off, everyone should just watch that concert. It's amazing. Okay. The red light like rock version, Luna just goes off. It's amazing. Like, it's such a good concert DVD. I mean, there's some awkwardness in it because like Sully's not there, so they randomly like will have like a backup dancer be Sully. Weird.
I mean, like, at some point, Sully just became a backup dancer with FX.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Hard truth there. Sorry, but
and then lately, really got into Girls' Generation. Which it's funny, took long enough, like, especially I've been listening to this podcast for like so long. And like didn't know.
How did you even get into like Shirley Daebak, or how did you find us? How did you find like the community?
Umu helped you guys, I think, with the YouTube algorithm.
Thank you.
That's how I found out. It was recommended, and I saw Umu and from React to the K. So I was like, oh, what is this? And so I think it was like the unpopular
K-pop opinion. Okay, that's like their most viewed video. So
I think that was the video that popped up, and I watched it, and I just started listening because I like. Well, for one, I don't really have K-pop friends like in the area, so I don't have many people to talk to about it, and I just enjoy listening to people talk. I think it's like I like doing that more than listening to music in my free time.
Okay.
So I would just like play you guys like I was getting ready or just like before work. And, I learned a lot that like you guys have become like a big part of my K-pop knowledge and like finding other groups and just knowing some history stuff. So that was pretty much how I found you guys. And then you guys kept talking about the Discord. So I remember I was like, oh, I should do that. Like, I don't have K-pop friends. Like, this could be a way to like meet people. And when I joined, well, for one, you guys had like the card logo on there, and I was like,
Wow.
is this the Discord?
That's when we still liked card. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's when I still liked card. I mean, Nate
Yeah,
and Jacob will
like, how
stand
long
card
ago
until
this
death, but
And like there are only like 11 people in the
Yeah.
Discord. And I just
it's definitely
I
blown
just-
up since then.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're like over 100 now. I mean, there's not 100 people talking, but there's 100 there.
And
Yeah, so I joined.
keep in mind, Nate didn't want a Discord at first. I was telling him from like day one, like he was like, I feel like the Facebook group is going to be the best option for us because I mean, like we found ourselves through, we found each other through like the Kind of Funny Facebook group, so we felt that was be the most effective means of sort of setting up a community. But I'm just like trying to instill it into him, just like, yo, Discord is where you make communities nowadays. Like that is literally like, it's like Facebook, Reddit, like YouTube comments, and I don't know, like live chat, Twitch chat all at once. And I'm just like, that's where you like hone communities in. And I'm just like, I never expected like our Discord community to ever like blow up to the degree that it is now. So I'm pretty impressed in that sort of way. And you've definitely been a big part of that, just doing song ratings and all. You work harder than we do at some points. I don't know why we don't pay you. Why do you do this?
Yeah, the songwriting thing is funny of how that even started because it's like there was a Reddit thing that did it. It was like
And it wasn't even the K-pop subreddit. It was
no, it
the
was our
Pophead
pop
subreddit.
heads. Yeah, pop heads did it.
Are you do you guys go on pop heads? Because I honestly don't. Because I mean I don't really
do.
listen.
I
Because
don't, but
like
someone,
it's just like all Carly Rae Jepsen. I'm just like okay. I
I'm
don't
all
listen
about
to her
Pophead.
music all that much, but I mean I know Cooper's really into her. But I mean
Yeah.
that's funny that pop heads and K-pop.
they've been trying to get me into CRJ.
I think
One
Coop
of
and
these
I
days.
are like the two big CRJ advocates on the server, or like American pop in general. Coop and I both like it, and no one
Yep.
else does.
Well,
One of
me
these
to
days.
some degree. Yeah, like I'm usually with American music. It's one extreme for another. It's just like some pop artists and then just like hardcore freaking hip hop stuff. So nothing in between. But I mean, yeah, I'm glad that we decided to take you on as a mod because one, there's a lot of people, and two, you do a lot of stuff for like song ratings or whatever. But
Yeah, I needed to pin things. That was the big.
you needed to
I
pin
think, like,
things.
I forget. I think I did like one or two. The first two song ratings were just so badly done. Like looking back, like one, like my spreadsheet for the first rating was terrible. One, we did the form as well, the Google
Oh
form,
yeah, the Google Forms.
and like those were awful because they would lose people's results.
Results. Okay.
It was a mess.
Like Marlon
yeah.
redoing it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
And it was already like the due date.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing it. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that. And like the PowerPoint for the first one's so ugly. It's just so gross looking. And yeah, I couldn't pin things. And like I was hand typing everything because this
Oh,
was before
God.
Nate made the script for it. Like bless him for like
I mean,
making
that's his job. I mean, just like doing all
Yeah.
the crazy coding shit that I don't understand. So
Yeah, I've got a lot of people that like help me out behind the scenes now. Whereas like, yeah, the first time it was like all me. Now I've got like Fleur, she helps me a lot with finding songs. Like bless that, because I remember the first one I like failed because I didn't know any. It was second gen girl groups. I didn't know anything about second gen girl groups.
yeah, so it's
So I'm
hard
like
to
trying to
narrow it
find these
down.
songs. Yeah, and then all these people are just like, oh, I can't believe you forgot the song. Why didn't you include it? I'm like,
Don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like a week before it's due. I'm like, yeah, that still happens though. We'll like put it out like a month in advance, and then like 2 days before it's due, someone has to go, wait, why wasn't this included? We're like, we didn't know, we just missed it. But yeah, so I've got Fleur helps with that. Jade helps me with the PowerPoints now. It's so helpful. The PowerPoints are like the thing I have the least motivation for. Because it's like after a song rating's done, I am done. Like I'm
Just
like
too much work. Yeah, you're doing homework at this point. Like I thought I was crazy doing like releases spreadsheets and shit. So
yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. Like it's all an Excel spreadsheet, and I love Excel. Like I'm all about it.
I don't know
I
why.
love all this.
Why do people love Excel? I hate Excel.
If this could be my job, I would be happy. Like, and I love just kind of like managing it all, like telling people what to do. Like
Oh, you
Bossing
like being
everyone
you're the
So-
Chili Daebak
like I think
manager.
it's fun. Like even though I always kind of play off that I'm just annoyed and I hate everyone because they're always like yelling and like because like it gets so chaotic. you know, every rating. And I like that mode of just like, I hate all of you guys, but I love it. I think it's really fun. And it's really brought a community, I think, to the Discord.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of people
it's funny,
that
like,
participate.
thinking of members of the Discord, like, I don't remember, like, any of them before the song. Like, the song ratings
yeah.
Like, getting personality.
Brings people into
like,
that sort of space.
Yeah, like, before that, the only person, like, people I really remember is, like, I remember Rob, just because Rob always, Rob's Rob. And I remember Flixer. Like, those were the two I remember, like, pre-song rating. But... yeah, I
mean, and us, like, do you not like remember? Like, it's like,
I mean,
I'm in this random Discord with people I don't even listen.
The only people that really talk, like Cooper, has always talked. I think Cooper was like the first one that said hi to me, and then Jacob as well. I feel like you never talk. You still never talk.
Yeah.
Nate used to not talk. He didn't start talking more until the song rating. I remember. I noticed that, but yeah.
Sure. Moral of the story is join Discord.
Yeah,
join Discord, definitely. So, Barron, what is your sort of K-pop story and like how you found us and just everything that you'd like to talk about?
Sure. So, I'm 28 now, so I've been in K-pop for a while. I got into K-pop when I was in college back in early 2011.
So same year as me.
Yeah, it's actually very similar to Nate's story. At the time, it was like right when the video game StarCraft 2 came out. So like I bought like the collector's edition of StarCraft 2. I was like playing online. I was watching like streams of the pro players. And there was one stream in particular. His name is Huck.
And I know Huck. Oh my god.
Yeah. And he always played K-pop on his channel. And like the first time I heard it, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't understand why anyone would like this. And then like he kept playing it, and sometimes at the beginning I would like mute his stream and just play my own music. But eventually I kind of like warmed up to it. And then I remember watching like a tournament of StarCraft 2, and they had the musical guest for the tournament was Secret, and they performed the song Shy Guy. And if you've ever heard the song Shy Guy,
my cat.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Shy Guy.
It's a very like super sweet song, and it was so different than anything I'd ever heard before. It was like holy crap, like. I actually kind of liked this, and I was kind of like embarrassed that I liked it, because I was like more into like metal and like heavy rock and that kind of stuff.
Like, everyone gets into K-pop as a guilty pleasure. Like no one admits that they like it at first.
So then that motivated me to start like looking up stuff on YouTube, and so I started going through the backlog of a bunch of different groups. It was all girl groups at the time, and of course, at this point, like 2011, I came across Girls' Generation's G. And I was like, this song is a masterpiece. This is so good. And then I heard Genie after that, and I was like, Genie is even better than G. Like, what is going on here? So at that point, I immediately became like a hardcore Sone. So-won. Wow. See, I
used to call him Sone too. Yeah. Like I used to call it. Because I had no one to talk to. So I'm just like, how the fuck do I pronounce this?
So that's been like a recurring problem of mine, is that I didn't start listening to like podcasts or anything until like last year. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to about anything. Yeah. So I had a bunch of like really weird mispronunciations that I just assumed were correct, because I'd never heard anyone say anything different.
When I started, like, if you listen to early episodes, I call it a sase, or like sesong, or instead of sasang fans or whatever. I used to call like Eunha from G-Friend Yunha, because all of this is just like it's completely different rules than like what English is. So you just have no idea until you just get used to it. So
my big one was EXID. It was Exid.
Exid, yeah.
I think everyone does that.
Oh no,
it's like
it's Exid and BTOB instead of B2B, because you wouldn't normally think you pronounce the letter, then pronounce like two, and then pronounce the letter. Like it's like K-pop group names just are utter chaos in terms of like how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
So like I don't blame you.
I only learned that Exid isn't Exid like a month ago. I still thought it was Exid until that recently.
Yeah, because I mean, you normally think it's just natural for you. There's no like dots in between to like sort of indicate that you have to pronounce it like letter by letter. So
so I became like a huge Girls' Generation fan, and then
Good.
their first Japanese album came out like that summer, and it was like really hardcore electropop, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. Like
their Japanese music is god tier essentially.
Yeah, that whole album was like, this is the first time I heard like I was really surprised by the quality of the entire album, and even like the Japanese remakes of the Korean songs were good.
Yeah.
So that immediately became like my favorite Girls' Generation album, and then I started looking up other artists. Like I started getting to like FX. Still liked Secret. Listened to all the Secret songs, and then started branching out a little bit into like some soloists at the time, but that didn't really happen until later. And then in the fall of 2011 is when The Boys came out. And The Boys became like, I really hated The Boys itself, but the rest of the album is fantastic.
Oh, so, yeah, it's so good.
And the Boys grew on me eventually, but like every other song on that album is just amazing. So I kept becoming bigger and bigger Girls' Generation fan. I was listening to their stuff all the time, but it was very much just like pop. It was like filling that pop niche for me, and I didn't really listen to much besides that. And then the following year, I forget, maybe February or so, that was when IU's Last Fantasy came out. And when the first time I heard Last Fantasy, I was like, whereas I always saw Girls' Generation as like really good K-pop, but it was always just like the asterisk next to it. So it wasn't just
K-pop
music.
As opposed to just like regular music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the first time I heard IU's Last Fantasy, I was like, oh man, this is actually like a just amazing piece of art.
Yeah.
And it instantly became my favorite album of all time. And I went through like IU's past albums, which there's only one full album at the time. But she became like my favorite artist. I streamed Last Fantasy an incredible amount of times over the next couple of years.
Just that one album over the next. Yeah. I mean, she had other releases, but she had like Chatshire and everything else after that.
Yeah. So, but that was my favorite album for many, many years. So I would always play to it like whenever I was like every week or every other week. I was like, oh man, I got to replay Last Fantasy again. So played that was listening to a lot of Girls' Generation. I remember the first time I was still in college at the time when the TTS album came out.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was so excited for an album that like I went to bed earlier and then like I set my alarm to wake up so I could wake up right when it came out. And I was like, oh man, like this is amazing. I'm here for it. And like the album tracks were fantastic. And there was like my 3 favorite members of Girls' Generation. So I was totally here for that. And at this point, I was still getting all of my K-pop news through the K-pop subreddit, which was obviously very like girl group dominant.
Focused.
Not as much, especially back then. It was like much more skewed towards the male demographics.
Yeah, like
so like
Reddit was like 80% male or 90% male at one point.
Yeah, so I think it's like the K-pop subreddit specifically is more now like 50-50 now. So like the boy groups actually get some love there. But at the time, it was so focused on girls group that was all I listened to.
Because I mean, that was pre BTS blow up, so there wasn't really like Big Bang, but I mean like they didn't really, I'm sorry, but in terms of international pull at this point, like they didn't have the same pull that like BTS has now, so there wasn't really like a online community of like, I guess, boy group stans other than maybe Twitter, but I mean I didn't even know what stan Twitter was at that point, in all honesty. So I mean, I wish I could go back to where I didn't know what the hell stan Twitter was, but too late now.
And then that I started dating someone who was also into K-pop, so she kind of exposed me to like a lot of the groups like Classic Y Project and Nell and a lot of the more indie stuff that I never got exposed to, and those became some of my most favorite artists and still are today. Listened to them a ton, and then my music knowledge kind of stagnated for a while, so I just kind of like listened to all the groups I was already listening to for many years. I still listen to K-pop. Like I've never taken a break from K-pop or anything. It's just that I only listen to it maybe like half of all of my total music.
And so you kind of like me, just like you diversify your listening so you don't get sick of it, or just like you don't, that sort of thing.
I still listen to like a lot of American music. Like I like a lot of like, Kendrick Lamar, and I like Taylor Swift. I'm the only person in Discord that likes Taylor Swift.
Hey, my sister likes Taylor Swift, so you have something common with her. She went to like her concert like 3 straight times, I remember.
like part of the reason my Discord icon is a snake is because of Taylor Swift. So fun fact for you guys.
So you're the Lord. That's the explanation behind Barron being a snake.
Oh, I thought it was because you were Slytherin.
It's also because of that. It was a combination of my house, Harry Potter house is Slytherin. I really like Taylor Swift, and that was right when she was doing like the snake theme. And then I'm also on a basketball Discord, and I really hate Kevin Durant, and he's a snake.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's a snake.
So it was like the triple thing.
Can't win with these cats, man.
So listened to that for a long time. I got really into like a lot of female soloists. So all of Taeyeon's stuff I love. IU obviously is my favorite artist. Lim Kim, her Goodbye 20 album is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yes. If we ever do a retro review of that, remind me to invite you back on, because we need to.
Of course.
With all the Lim. I mean, we don't score like retro reviews, but I mean, like with Lim Kim coming out of the ashes or out of the shadows at this point, I feel like we need to take a look back at her older music. So
as far as I am concerned, that comeback never happened. It just doesn't exist.
Yes, just erased from existence.
Yeah, exactly.
She's still hiding somewhere in New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think I listened to it because everyone just like shit on it. So I was like, I'm not going to listen to it.
That's literally like half the song. I'm just like, what the hell are you doing, Lim Kim?
Yeah, it's
you were the chosen
really
one.
Really bad, like Grimes impersonation or something.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
it's like I literally said on last week. It's like she's been listening to too much Grimes or like freaking like trying to be like Billie Eilish or something like that.
But and then I also like, as much as my reputation is on Discord for being like liking bangers and liking like up-tempo songs, I really like female ballad singers. Okay. So I also like Lin and Yuna and Lee Hai. All those people are like some of my most played artists.
Yeah.
And didn't get into like any boy groups at all. So like if you look at my favorite songs of the year, I make favorite songs of the year going back to like when I got into K-pop. I'll bet you from 2011 all the way up until 2018, there's maybe 6 boy group songs total across all those years.
And there's a lot of boy group music that came out within like that 8-year period. Yeah. So
some like really good boy group music too.
Yeah, some of like the most
like some of the
iconic.
best.
Yeah.
So I only started getting into boy groups because of the Discord.
Okay.
Like Cooper's, like when I first joined, I muted the boy groups channel. I guess when they created the boy groups channel, I muted it because I don't care about this. And then Cooper and Sam, I think specifically, and Jade too, were like really trying to get me to listen to a lot of boy group songs. I was like, okay, like I'll try it out. And then through the song ratings, we started listening to a lot of boy groups too. So I remember like as much hype as there was around BTS, I never really listened to BTS songs. And I really liked like a couple songs like Dope and Fire I liked, but I didn't really listen to like their full albums or anything. And then when we did the discography or the album, the rating for like 2014 to 2017 boy groups, whatever it was, time period.
The BTS, the one BTS was,
and I listened to all their title tracks. I was like, they are amazing. Like I so love all their title tracks, and I went back and listened to all their albums, and I think they're one of my most played artists for like this year, just because I've been listening to them a ton.
Yeah, they are really good. Like I still love BTS. I feel like I trash talk them a lot now, especially mostly to my friends, just because they know I like K-pop, so they're like, "Oh, BTS." I'm just
that's what it's just
talk to me about
BTS. BTS has just become like the moniker, or like it's just like the only association people have with K-pop at this point. It's just freaking annoying.
Yeah,
when
them
there's
and now
so
Blackpink.
Much. Yeah,
I don't want
basically.
Blackpink to talk either.
Yeah, it's just BTS and Blackpink are just like the faces of like stereotypical K-pop in most people's eyes at this point. So it's just like there's so much more to that, which is why I guess we come off a lot more harsh on them in some ways.
Actually, on that same topic, I remember when Psy's Gangnam Style came out, and like I saw it like the day it came out because it was on Reddit, and I was like, oh man, that's a fun music video. This is a really good song actually. And then like it kind of like died for a little bit, and then everybody started talking about it. And I was like, what is going on? Like, when I would say, like, if I ever talked with people who didn't like K-pop, they're like, oh yeah, I like Gangnam Style. And it's like, okay, sure. Like, but it's the first time I ever talked to people that were like aware of what K-pop was.
Yeah.
And it was pretty interesting. And by the way, the song is still a banger. I love that song.
Yeah.
Yep. It will never fade. It will never fade.
So yeah. really into boy groups now, actually. So like a lot of my favorite songs this year are boy groups. We just did the quarter 1 ratings, and
Valkyrie.
my favorite song is Valkyrie. I've been saying Stan One Us the whole time.
Stan One Us.
They're so good. They have so many good songs. Valkyrie, Song of the Year still. Fantastic. The way I actually found the Discord is shout out to Rob. He made a post on Reddit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There was a post that was like, what are some good K-pop podcasts? And I really like listening to podcasts. I listen to like, I don't know, 20 different podcasts.
Wow.
And 1.5 speed.
No, 1.75 speed.
Oh.
So you got to save time when you listen to that many podcasts. But I noticed, and this actually plays into why I liked your podcast especially, is that because I listen to them on an increased speed, I can't listen to if they play music during it because the music sounds all distorted.
Yeah.
And a lot of other K-pop podcasts play like snippets of songs, and it's just unlistenable to me. So like I would just like skip those. And then I got down to your podcast from Rob's post listing a bunch of podcasts. And I was like, oh man, these guys actually seem pretty chill. I like their opinions. They're very reasoned. I can listen to it and it sounds okay. And then you guys started saying join the Discord, and I was already using Discord for gaming and for basketball. So I was like, sure, I'll join the Discord, see what's going on. And it's become like a really good community. It's fun to like see all the different characters and interactions and stuff. And it's really helped me find a lot of new music now because there was just so much stuff that, because I only got stuff from Reddit, and it was only like even if I saw boy group stuff that was upvoted, I would just like ignore it. But now it's like, if people are saying like, oh man, you need to listen to this song, you need to listen to this, it's a great album, like I'll go and check it out. And like it's really broadened my consumption of K-pop. So, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing with Discord is, it's been getting a lot of people who usually stay in their lane, so to speak, to just sort of branch out. Even me, like to some degree. I mean, I do have as much as I try to see everything like a fucking madman. I like when it's releases, I don't sleep. I really don't sleep because I have to look up like 300 different songs every month. But yeah, Discord definitely sort of helps me gauge or just helps expose me to a lot of that stuff. And I do rely on it at this point to just like get exposed to music that we have to cover on here and that sort of thing. So I'm glad. That's the one thing I do like about like the community we've set up, where there's a lot more like intermingling, whereas opposed to most people usually just sort of stay, oh, I like this specific boy group or boy groups in general, or this specific girl groups in general, etc. Yeah, there's a lot more like crossing of streams, so to speak, definitely within our Discord. I think that's kind of unique to our sort of little community, because usually it's just like, okay, we're in the New Us Discord or the, I don't know if there's a One Us Discord or something like that. There's usually there's no idea. It's usually specifically like tailored towards groups, but whereas ours, I feel like, is a lot more welcoming to general just K-pop music. And because I try to like vary everything we cover on here just because I want to like reach out to more people or just see like what kind of like, I guess, sort of engagement we can get in terms of like what our opinions are. So yeah, I'm glad that actually ended up like being such a good resource for everyone, even myself included. So is that a thing though, like to listen to podcasts at one point whatever speed? Because Flor says the same thing. I'm just like, what? Like I don't do that normally. So
it wasn't something I started with. I started at like 1.0 speed, and then I like slowly ramped it up because it sounds like people are talking very slowly once you get used to them talking a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, how is it listening to Andrew talk at a normal
how's it
speed?
Listening to me at regular speed right now? Should I be speaking like this?
It sounds very different, because like even when I watch YouTube videos, because the podcasts don't get uploaded until later in the week, so when I watch the individual YouTube segments, I put them at 1.75 speed. So like I'm very used to like you sounding a certain way, and you sound like much more like chill now.
Whereas I usually just sound super hyper.
He just sounds crazy. He just goes off.
And I credit the Discord because the first K-pop concert I ever went to was Red Velvet this year, and I met.
Wait, that was your first? What?
Yeah. So I'd never been to any K-pop concert before, and I wasn't going to go to this one, even though it was like only across. Yeah,
you like were able to easily get there.
But Nate and you were both like, you like Soga, you got to go. Like, you got to see her. So I was like, sure, I'll go. So then we were going to meet up with Nate, but then Nate couldn't make it. So then still got to meet the 4 of you, 3 of you, I guess. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and looking forward to going to KCON.
KCON. Yeah, that's definitely really exciting. Yeah.
KCON, yeah,
like
should be exciting.
Another cool thing about the Discord is like, yeah, because I feel like a lot of K-pop fans have this of like, we want to go to concerts, but like we don't have friends who wants to go with us. So I usually have lucked out. I think for the most part, I can get someone to go with me. I have like 2 friends that like are kind of into K-pop. Like I have a friend who likes BTS. Then there's Dylan he'll just go to whatever. And then like I went to California and I went to concerts with my mom, which is funny. Like she's going to Pentagon with me. Should be a great time. And then like with the Red Velvet, I was able to go with my brother and my sister-in-law because my brother like somehow started getting into K-pop. Like YouTube recommended like twice to him. And no, he got into EXO first. And he was like, he told me casually, like, so I've been listening to EXO. And I was like the K-pop group? He's like, yeah. I was like, whoa, wait, like I have so many questions now. And then like, yeah, he started getting into Twice. And then I was like, listen, you should listen to Red Velvet because they're going to be coming here soon. And he really liked Red Velvet. He ended up like not being able to go to the actual concert, but I still got the ride up to New Jersey. And yeah, so to be able to like meet you guys, like I think that's just a cool part of the Discord of like, yeah, we have a whole group going to KCON together. So like it's fun to like, have someone to go to the concerts with. You can like find people to maybe like even have like a place to stay. I think it's really cool to like have that. So especially because like with the New York ones, like I can easily just take the train up there. And now I can just like meet up with one of you guys because you live there. Which was before, like, that'd be so scary for me just going up there by myself and, like, not knowing what to do.
Anyone, yeah. Yeah, we don't bite, except for Barron. We make that joke, like, 3 straight weeks now. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever really, like, it's weird for me just because I got into K-pop through other people that I was friends with. So the concept of... Though I am familiar with the concept of, I'm going to a concert alone, I wish I went with friends sort of thing, just because like the person that got me into K-pop, my friend Kim, only really liked specific like groups. Like she was like really big into like, I don't know, like EXO. So anything that wasn't really EXO or whatever, she wouldn't go to. So yeah, I mean, I'd make friends at the concert. That's how I met like Aubrey Page, like a bunch of other people that I sort of know like tertiarily through like YouTube stuff and everything. Basically just what I do, like I stopped doing like concert vlogs or whatever, but that'd be a way to make friends. That's how I make friends. I promise people fame and fortune and never upload the videos because it's so much editing work and I have no time for that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, and also we just keep getting nuked. That's the thing. We definitely like, that's why we don't do it anymore. But I think that's probably a good place to leave the topics. I mean, I'm glad that you guys are definitely a big part of our community now at this point, being mods and just doing a lot of stuff. So I'm glad that we got you on here. All your stories were definitely interesting, and I hope everyone else listening to this was interested as well. Definitely give a lot of love to these guys for coming in on such short notice to fill in for the DaebakCast. I guess that. Yeah, I mean, no, don't never apologize for your scores. I think that's the one thing I love also about our community is that we don't have to automatically like everything and we don't automatically have to hate everything. We can just
it's a great part of the Discord too. Yeah.
Whereas if you just do this shit on Twitter, it's like canceled.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that we don't have a big like Twitter following because like some of the shit I say on here would just get me like doxxed immediately. So, I guess that'll end it for episode 124 of the DaebakCast. If you liked it, please leave a like. That really helps for our visibility. Click the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever a new video pops up, because sometimes they don't pop up in the feed. I don't know what YouTube is doing. Like I said, you can go listen to us on podcast services of your choice. Please follow us on Twitter, or if you want to reach us, the easiest, you can tweet at Daebak, or you can reach me at my Twitter, though I don't really use it. I just use the Truly Daebak Twitter is my Twitter. Even if it's just not K-pop stuff, I'll just tweet it because no one uses it. It's literally just me tweeting random shit and Nate just like posting like Nate's the one that posts like all like the up like the new topics or whatever, and then Jacob sometimes posts some stuff in Korea. So I just try to keep it interesting. You guys don't have all too much social media stuff, so if you want to say hi to Sam or Barron, please join our Discord. Again, it's mucho lit, and you can interact with them. They're always on, and they're very friendly and welcoming, I think.
Try to be.
No, try to be. Try to be, yeah. And again, Sam does the song ratings, so that's a really fun sort of group activity you participate in. Any closing thoughts from either of you guys?
I don't
Stream
know.
Valkyrie.
Stream
Sure
Valkyrie.
that. Join the Discord, make friends, find new artists. Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah, I guess that'll do it. Thank you for listening. And good night. It's weird because it's usually Jacob that takes it out, and I do the Stay Creamy variant. But it's me taking it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you. Good night. Stay mucho lit.
Stay throbbingly lit.
Oh God, not you too. This is straight up Yoon Jung-shin City Pop, and with the Taeyeon vocals on it, this might be a top 10 song of the year for me, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Just because
The
you know how
instant
much I
that
love
it got
this.
announced, we're like, well, this is Andrew's thing.
Yeah, this is so very much like if you're into City Pop feature funk, and if you love Taeyeon vocals.